Hi, I'm Jerry Hayes. Next week, I'll take you behind the scenes.
For 45 years,
It's now been counted 3 times.
he guided North Alabama and southern Middle Tennessee through tragedies
But the death and destruction it left behind
and triumphs
is promising growth for Huntsville.
with a genuine heart
We're $4,000 behind.
and a calming delivery.
We'll let you know what happens.
Jerry Hayes, thank you for being an incredible leader, neighbor, and friend.
Join us for these stories and much more.
And congratulations on your retirement.
And that's all of our time for Action News 19. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again.
This is a News 19 special celebrating Jerry Hayes.
And thank you for joining us as we celebrate 45 years of Jerry Hayes at News 19. I'm Christine Killemeyer.
And I'm Jerry Hayes.
And that's pretty much all I'm going to allow Jerry to say tonight, though we may check back in with him periodically throughout the next half hour. He is now more or less a spectator here. You see, Jerry's been running the show now for more than 4 decades, and his look has certainly evolved during that time frame, but his voice, his candor, and his heart have endured. For 45 years, Jerry Hayes has come into our homes and our lives. His accolades and accomplishments could fill 24 hours worth of programming. Stories about his love for and service to this community could fill a year's worth of programming. We have 30 minutes, so let's get started.
You're not in Huntsville if you don't know who Jerry Hayes is.
He's just an icon, if you would, in this community.
Jerry Hayes is our community.
I think here in North Alabama, no matter where you go, no matter if it's the western part of our viewing area or the eastern part, people know Jerry.
But to come out here and drive down Highway 71 today brings it all to life.
I've never turned the TV on when he's not been there.
An explosion ripped the shuttle apart and spewed flaming debris into the water.
You're getting what's really the story, and he's keeping himself out of it, but he is sincere in what he is telling you.
Very seldom do you find people in that line of work that don't need a headline. And Jerry didn't need a headline. And that was the great thing about him, is the headline will wait.
But there is one family that we found here in the Tennessee Valley that was really concerned about their son here at Virginia Tech.
You could turn on the television and you could believe what he was telling you. You trusted what he was saying. There's nothing sensational about Jerry. You know, he is truly telling you what is happening, and you can believe it.
He's got a legacy that will never be forgotten.
When you get to know him, it's hard not to like him.
He's just genuine.
The service has wrapped up here at Mayfair Church of Christ.
There are just certain people that have a type of a charisma that people just feel drawn to them.
We discussed the story, what it's about, where it's going to fit into the newscast, and how much time it warrants.
I think Jerry's style kind of resonates with North Alabama and Madison County and Huntsville. You know, he's a guy that identifies with the personality of this area, and it comes across very clearly in his report and his demeanor on the air.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Apparently had a little bit too much fun one night here at the Palace. He lost it in a gambling match. But Catherine the Great came through and paid off his gambling debt.
Not only is he a great anchor, but he's a great journalist, but he's very respectful in the way he tells the stories. And I think that just sums up Jerry. He's respectful, but he knows what he's doing, and yet it comes across so natural.
We've had our challenges in the past and everything else, and Jerry's been the one to talk about those. He's a person that you look at who you can trust to talk about it.
This accident happened at about 10 minutes after 10 this morning. The bus plunged off of I-565. Several Huntsville firefighters did suffer from the heat.
The first week he was at 19. I don't know who it was that brought him to the office. And I fell in love with Jerry Hayes that day, and it hadn't faded since. He's down to earth like I was. He wasn't putting on no front.
Hayes, we have an arrest. Warrant for arrest for impersonating a newsman.
Oh, okay. Do I have to go with you right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Most folks don't know that Jerry Hayes is about as wide open as a case knife. I'm going to tell you right now.
I won't be home tonight, I guess.
Acid
rain, acid rain.
He'll be the first to laugh at himself if it needs to happen, and if not, you know, we were always there to help him laugh at himself. That, you know, because we're givers in that business.
I'm a loser.
Jerry wasn't afraid to use his media credentials to get into something free.
Why, even our own Jerry Hayes ran out and bought one for his car. Jerry.
The first time Jerry and I went out and played golf together, I knew Jerry was a hard worker because I knew he was not playing a lot of golf.
I drew that. That was my graphic suggestion. That's me. See?
When I was there, Megan was there working, and that was such a joy for him to really mentor her, and for her to give him crap in the middle of the newsroom and to call him Jerry was, I mean, that was just beautiful.
I played when I was a kid, but it's been a long time.
85 years ago.
But he can give as well as he receives.
You're losing your touch. Come on, guy.
Let's just be honest, for him to go through and lose his mustache on the air, that was a major identity crisis for Jerry Hayes. But he did that for you. He did that for all of you.
Yeah, it's coming off.
I'm beginning to sweat a little bit.
I noticed that.
Your generosity and concern will help many of our Tennessee Valley neighbors who use the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
It's amazing when you look at what he's achieved and yet what he still goes out and does every day. Willingly volunteering, whether it's Melissa's Fund with Chris and Amy or emceeing an event, he's always usually the first to raise his hand and say, I'll do it.
I think every time we've called him and every time we've had a need, he has been there. He has never said no.
I cannot overestimate what he's done for the foundation.
Let me tell you something about this bracelet. It's custom made.
There was nothing scripted about those telethons that we did. It didn't. If it didn't come from here, you didn't hear it.
Right now, it's just it's a tough time for everybody. You know, the entire Tennessee Valley is hurting.
But Jerry is Jerry on and off the camera. He's the same genuine, heartfelt person. I mean, he cares. When he tells a story, you know he's telling from his heart, not just something he's written on a sheet of paper.
There was nothing Jerry Hayes would not do for Melissa's Fund. I mean, his heart is just so big, and if he believes in something and supports it, there's just nothing he won't do. And
he also came up with the logo.
Just the way he does the story, how gently he handles the people. And he just tells the story, and it's not just pulling heartstrings, but just telling the story. So when people watch it, I mean, they know more about what the NICU means.
He's a part of our family, and you know, I'm forever indebted for him and what he did for our girls.
And heard an officer call for help. I listened to the scanner to try to figure out what was going on. The next thing I heard, shots fired near Bailey Cove and Weatherly Road.
Jerry has been an ambassador to the community for 45 years. And you know, it's going to be different not seeing him behind that desk. He's been a huge influence on so many people in the newsroom and outside the newsroom.
He'll leave a big void, but he's taught a lot of people a lot of things. And that will, I think that in itself will help fill that void.
We also talked with him about the future of the space station.
To serve so much time in one job, but what they give to the community, because you know there's a lot of things I'm sure Jerry missed in his own personal life because of the requirements of the job. So there's a lot of sacrifice.
For those of us who were here, we'll be able to tell our grandkids, I was there.
He's just a good person, and you know that's what a lot of people is going to remember about him. It's not, you know, yes, he did a great job. Yes, he was this person in his little world, but more than that, when you seen him out in public, he was just a good person.
Those are rain clouds, and they're heading our way, so we'll stay out here in Storm Hunter 19 and keep track of the weather for you.
Thanks for setting a standard, especially in a time like now when people have forgotten how much work journalists put in.
Even born now. It's frightening.
To walk away and understand that he just didn't pass through, that you know, he has been a factor in the lives of a lot of folks.
I just don't even think you can quantify the ways that he's given back to Huntsville and this entire Tennessee Valley, really.
And that's the kind of legacy that Jerry leaves, because Jerry he's such a real, honest person. What you see on television is what you get when he's not on television. And there's just certain people that there is no ego. And I think that's probably the biggest compliment that somebody could pay. There is no ego.
I want to thank my family here in Nashville and my television family in Huntsville. You don't know what it means to me to be able to come back to the town where I started my career and be inducted into the Silver Circle.
Jerry Hayes, Action News 19 at the U.S. Courthouse in Huntsville.
We continue to celebrate the career of Jerry Hayes. And during the course of a 45-year span on an anchor desk, one is bound to earn a long list of co-anchors. So by our best calculations, and of course we're relying on Jerry's memory here, Jerry has racked up 18 full-time co-anchors, which is, if you do the math, about one every 2.5 years. I don't know what you're doing to all these women. Here's a look at some of Jerry's TV wives.
This is the Action News 19 Midday Report with Vera Clay and Jerry Hayes.
I'm Missy Ming.
Cindy Sexton.
I'm Kimberly Van Scoy.
I'm Kristen Williams.
I'm Jim.
Chris Hall. I'm Amy George.
Kim Anderson.
I'm Elise Morgan.
I'm Lee Marshall.
I'm Clarissa McLean.
I'm Melissa Rialka.
Christine Killemeyer.
When I anchored with Jerry, I always knew everything was going to be okay. There was this feeling of safety or security.
We had this rapport, especially during breaking news, where we could just look at each other and know when it was time for the other one to start talking. We could almost read each other's minds.
When you were shotgun with Jerry, you never had to worry about things going down the drain.
I loved working with you, loved hearing the stories about you growing up with your twin brother in Nashville.
I remember him coaching me through writing stories and improving my interview skills and helping me handle live coverage in the field.
Working beside you, getting your guidance, getting your opinions, even though sometimes I didn't want them.
I could not be more proud of the long commitment to journalism, honesty, fairness, commitment to our community that Jerry has given us all these years.
Well, what's it going to be this time?
We're having fun with it.
That's right. Thanks so much for joining us. And of course, when you work as closely as you do in a newsroom, the odds of mischief are incredibly high. In the mid-90s, Jerry became the victim of a newsroom prank. Well, I'll let former News 19 anchor Karen Tarica explain.
This is the last photo taken of Jerry with his beloved bullhorns. 3 years ago, they disappeared. A ransom note confirmed Jerry's worst fears.
Somebody had taken the horns.
The bullhorns had been a gift from then-producer, now news director Bill Shorey, a gift to lift Jerry's spirits.
He'd been wearing a Band-Aid on his forehead on the air for a couple of weeks due to an injury that he claimed resulted from bull riding. It actually resulted from him jumping over a fence in terror and hitting his head on the rail.
At first, Shorey was distraught to learn of the kidnapping, but time has healed his pain.
They've traveled more than I have.
They are about to hop aboard a Delta Airlines flight on their next adventure.
Going where?
The pilot for Delta Airlines will not reveal that information. Perhaps they'll bring Bama coach Mike Dubose a little luck against the Tennessee Volunteers. Certainly worked for the Vipers.
These horns right here, they've been the key to our offensive production.
And the Tornadoes' Chris George gave them a shot, a slap shot.
These horns work better than a puck.
Jerry, I have your horns. Love you, Jerry.
Jerry Hayes has perpetuated the greatest hoax in the history of WHNT in order to gain much-needed attention.
Hey, y'all, it's me, Killer Bee's world-famous comedian. Traveling with me are my famous horns. These actually are Jerry's horns. They were clipped off of him when he was a little buck.
They have been around the world and to foreign countries. They've probably been to more states than all of us combined.
Yeah.
We decided on your 25th anniversary, it was time that you got your bullhorns back.
They're coming home finally?
So, yeah.
They're
There's
on
your
the gate.
bullhorns, Jerry.
Okay.
That's as close as you're going to get to them, buddy.
So now, as you heard, the horns are quite the world travelers, and we absolutely do not have enough time to show you the entirety of their passport. You should know, though, they have been keeping a low profile lately. In fact, it has been nearly 7 years since they were last truly spotted. We did manage, though, Jerry, to catch a glimpse of them one last time before you retire. So it turns out they've been keeping a close eye on the markets, you know, retirement, and even helped Jerry write his stock script one last time. Then they decided to anchor one last newscast before being put out to pasture, so to speak. The horns then bid a fond farewell to 200 Holmes Avenue. All right, so Jerry, where do you think they are right now? Do you have any inkling of where they might be?
I have no idea, but you guys were brave to even bring them back into the newsroom and put them on my desk.
I know your schedule, don't worry.
I know. I have no idea where they are right now.
Okay, well, I think we have some fine friends here who may be able to help us answer that.
Come and get in the Green Haze!
So after all these years,
the grandkids have them?
That's what it appears. The grandkids are sitting offset, by the way.
They're sitting over here.
With a lot of sheepish grins.
Yeah, Granddaddy Hayes needs to talk to you as soon as we get off the air.
So, I mean, you may be able to catch them if you go babysit. I'm sure that's something that will probably have to be worked out in the future.
With those three right there, no, I will not be able to get them back. No, they will.
I was going to say, so you may still not ever get the bullhorns back, but
we'll see. We'll see. I hope they've enjoyed their travels, though. I would love to get the horns back long enough so that we can take some trips together.
Yeah.
You know, and I'd post those pictures online for everybody to enjoy.
Yeah, I think I think most people will be keeping an eye out for that.
I got to get them back first.
Yeah. All right. Stay tuned. We have a little more coming right after this break. And this is the very reason why Jerry is calling it a career. His family. Here he is with his oldest daughter, Lee, on the day of his youngest daughter, Megan's birth. But this proud papa is now a proud granddaddy, too. It is time for the Tennessee Valley to give Jerry back to his family. And the growing Hayes family cannot wait to spend more time with him.
Happy retirement, Jerry!
From being president of our senior class in high school, and the accomplishments that you've had, being in the Silver Circle, a couple of Emmy Awards, I'm dadgum proud of you.
I will always cherish our trips to Parkway Place Mall to get your MAC powder. Don't think a lot of other girls can say that about their dads, and one of their fondest memories growing up. Thank you for everything you have done for our family, for the Tennessee Valley. I know that it's a scary time right now because you have poured your heart and your soul into Channel 19 and into the community.
But Dad, please just know how proud of you we are for all the accomplishments that you have achieved over the past several decades of your career. As you take off your mic and walk into this next chapter, we look forward to seeing what you do next. So it's time to kick up your feet, relax, go find yourself some hobbies. Be sure to brush up on those babysitting skills because we're definitely going to take advantage of them. And just know that we love you and congratulations.
It has been one of the greatest honors and joys of my life to share this anchor desk with you for the last 8 years. Thank you for being my co-anchor, counselor, collaborator, editor, and friend. And with that, I will leave you with the final word.
You know I love you.
I know, I love you.
You've been a great one to be with the last 8 years. And finally tonight, see if I can get through this. I'll wrap up this chapter of my life and head down a new path. What a journey it's been. I truly appreciate the trust that you have put in me the past 45 years to come into your homes and tell you what happened in our little corner of the world that day. I'm not leaving Huntsville. This is my home, and I'm going to take some time to slow down, enjoy life, and spend more of that time with family and friends. And I hope I run into you along the way, wherever the highway takes us. So for one last time, thanks for watching. God bless. Have a good night. and I'll see you down the road.